Hey everyone, today is Monday, June 8th, 2020. Hope you guys had a great weekend. The market just continued to go up, and this is Dow Jones Industrial Average. Right now, Dow is absolutely the strongest sector of the market right now. But if you look at all the other speculative and risky assets, there is a lot of money chasing after all the assets. For example, today the Dow has outperformed all the other index, including the Nasdaq, and also the S&P 500 today has reached 3,200. So this is a picture I drew a couple of days ago, and today the market is going even beyond that. I think the market can go even higher. I don't know at this point, but definitely do not short the market. I've been saying this for since since early April, right? Since right here, I've been saying that do not short the market. The longer we stay horizontal here, the higher the chance we break out and go vertical, and that's exactly what the market did. And at this moment, I don't really know where this market is gonna go. Okay, because it has gone vertical. The extent where this market is gonna reach is not cannot be determined based on the past data. That's the thing. We just don't know how far the Fed or the hedge funds or the market participant, how far we can push this market up, right? Just like just like back in 2009, if you look at this, we had a V-shaped recovery in 2009, and there's really no top from this recovery. Okay, it's very difficult to determine unless you can actually see the future, but by seeing to determine where the market is going to go from this point on. In fact, how high it could possibly go. And because we are actually closing in to the all-time high, we have a very high chance of breaking the all-time high just within this rally. It's because NASDAQ already did, and I expect the other index to actually follow. Okay, the NASDAQ started more than all-time high. You can see that, so that's expected from the Federal Reserve's expansionary monetary policy. So this is actually very expected. NASDAQ had a least amount of correction, so it doesn't take a lot of extra liquidity in the market to bring the NASDAQ to all-time high. So this is definitely expected. And I've been saying NASDAQ going to reach all-time high for many months now, so it's not a surprise. And so right now I can't even draw anything because I don't know where this market is going to go, how far it can possibly go. We have to see a correction for the market to determine the next course of action. So I wouldn't be too worried about the market right now. Right now it's June 8th. So I think the market is probably going to keep going up, or even it consolidates. We have to really look back the market, take a closer look at the market probably in August. The reason is, if you look at all the previous years market cycle, usually we have a March kind of a correction. You can see that here we have a February, March. Then we keep rallying until August, September-ish, October-ish. Then we might have another correction. This year is the same. We have a March correction, then we rally, and May 2000. Of course, it doesn't work every single year, right? For example, like the correction in 2018 last several months, and we didn't really get a March correction in 2019, obviously. But if you look at the August 2015, we didn't get an August correction in 2019. But if you look at the 2015, 2016, we did get August correction, very hard August correction in 2015. And also, if you look at the 2012-ish, we also have August correction in 2012. Let's see this, 2010. I don't even remember where we had where we have correction in 2010 or not. We had a 2010 was kind of different. We had a March April correction, and it It lasted all the way to August. It was very different. But you can see April and August are two critical months that we need to focus on. So since the market has already rallied from March, April-ish, that means we have to be cautious when we reach the month of August or early August. That's usually some other things will happen. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. And let's take a look at cryptocurrency right now. Cryptocurrency, I've been saying that the Bitcoin could have a correction and it might go up from this point on. But I think, judging from the current price action, I believe we might stay at this level for a while because there's just simply no catalyst for this, for the Bitcoin to break out right now. But I do see a lot of negative sentiment in the market, which is great for the Bitcoin because usually when the general market is negative, is bearish. Usually, what's going to happen is that in the Bitcoin cryptocurrency markets, that we probably just going to consolidate at this level, and we eventually going to break out. That's probably going to happen. The other thing is the reason the Bitcoin is extremely bullish is that you have to take a look at. It's kind of in a parallel with Amazon from the 1999 to 2008. The reason is, let me show you. The reason is, for Bitcoin we had a huge parabolic rally. So this is not a complete picture, obviously. Let me just show you the complete picture. So we had a parabolic rally here from very low level. Almost 100 times gain. Then we crashed. We had a crash, just like Amazon. Then now we came back. You see that? So Bitcoin here, 2019 June 25th, is roughly equivalent to the October 03 Amazon. Just looking at the market structure. Whether Bitcoin could, become like Amazon is another question, which I doubt it could because Bitcoin right now is already at $200 billion market cap. So let's take a look at the Bitcoin market cap right now. The Bitcoin market cap is about $200 billion. So Amazon is only $1 trillion, right? So Bitcoin is only 1/5 of Amazon. At this point, Amazon's about 100th size of the current Amazon market cap. So I don't think Bitcoin could go as far as Amazon, but the market structure is here. I'm not talking about the long term, I'm talking about short term, right? We can the short term, the Bitcoin is very bullish because Bitcoin is making a similar structure to Amazon here. Let me just show you here. This is gonna make you. This is I would say is $1 million chart because I don't have a lot of subscribers right now, so I can show you this kind of stuff to the public without impacting the market. Because the way the market works is that the uncertainty principle. When there is a market inefficiency that is obvious, but most people don't know about it, the market inefficiency can be taken advantage of. For example, a certain market pattern, right? Head and shoulders, breaking the trend line, all that stuff. Used to work very well. If you look at the market back in 1930s to 1970s until we have algorithmic trading. Most people who are trading based on these kind of patterns, they can actually generate alpha. Alpha means the pattern works kind of consistently, so they have an edge over the market. But once all these head shoulders pattern, all these trend lines, all that stuff being written in books and being popularized by mass media, everyone now knows the pattern. So the pattern becomes useless, right? The patterns it doesn't work anymore. And so if everyone's aware of the pattern in Bitcoin with parallel to Amazon, then this pattern wouldn't work. But the thing is, right now, not everyone is aware of this. As far as I see, at least I don't see anybody in social media talking about the market structure, the parallel between Amazon and Bitcoin. Excuse me. And you can see that here. I'm gonna make this very obvious to you. Because my channel doesn't have a lot of subscribers, I'm able to reveal stuff like this without impacting the market itself. So if my channel has millions of subscribers, if I reveal this, then someone's going to trade away this this opportunity actually. So it's kind of like uncertainty principle. It's kind of like quantum mechanics. When you are looking at a certain particle, if you actually observing it, your very act of observation is going to affect the outcome of the quantum mechanics system. Just like Schrodinger's cat, right? If you guys know what I'm talking about. So that's why when I don't have a lot of people watching my channel, I reveal stuff like this. It's not going to impact the market. That's why I'm okay with revealing this, my findings. So you can see that here. This is the exact same market structure, obviously. I just lay out a chart side by side. You can see that this is the same thing. It's the exact same move. And we had except the correction is slightly different from this point because we had an external shock. Obviously, we had a coronavirus. We have a very sudden lack of liquidity until the Fed steps in, right? So we had a lack of liquidity here. We had an external shock causing the market to suddenly drop. The Bitcoin was going to correct at this point. I was expecting the Bitcoin to, if without the coronavirus, it's probably going to make the same pattern as Amazon in 2006. But you can see that the pattern, what Bitcoin is moving before all the coronavirus is almost identical, and after that Bitcoin dropped precipitously and it recovered. The move is pretty much identical to Amazon, right? Amazon had a correction between 2005 November 30th to 2006 August 2nd. It's a slower correction because they didn't have external shock. The external shock came in 2008, right? So you can see that basically this is the same market structure. And after the correction, after the dip in 2006, basically it shaked out a lot of long-term holders because you can imagine holding the Amazon share from 2003 to 2006 is pretty painful because it just keep going down. Imagine your long-term holder from 2019 to 2020, the entire year, your Bitcoin value just keep going down, right? And I even went to 3,000, which is pretty horrible drop. So basically, I think the wash and rinse is already finished. This dip have already shaken out a lot of weak hands, and you can see that here and here. It's just the exact same market psychology. It's just absolutely in parallel how similar the market structure is, right? You don't need to be a genius to see what's going on here. And this is really what the market's doing, okay? So Amazon right now, you can see that Amazon, basically it came up here, then it consolidates. We came up here. That's why I'm saying that we're probably going to consolidate around this level for a little bit more while. I don't know how long that's going to be because I think we're getting pretty close. So if you're a long-term holder of Bitcoin, if you're bearish right now, that's stupid, right? That's just absolutely stupid. That's like you're throwing your experience away. Imagine you have traded through Amazon, you will know this. You will know how the market works. And because we were able to look at past data, we were able to figure out how the crowd was acting, right? And now you can see that the Bitcoin could just consolidate at this level and then we break out, or it could be acting a little bit different, as you can see that here. The consolidation area for Amazon was a little bit lower than Bitcoin on this chart. So it's about the consolidation area for Amazon was about you can see that this area, it was between this and this, right? So I would say we are a little bit higher than the consolidation area. Let me just remove this. So from a market structure perspective, I think that we should, if the Bitcoin could come down and retest this line and consolidate a little bit more and go up, that would be a much healthier, healthier kind of a push than just do this, right? And you can see that Amazon did touch this line, this particular line. That's a parallel. So I think we might get a steeper correction back to the 8,000 points. Then if we consolidate, that would be an amazing entry point for you to add more for Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrency, because all the cryptocurrency follow the Bitcoin market moves, and you could add to Ethereum, you could add to all the other stuff as well. At this point, you could diversify your cryptocurrency holdings. And again, you can see that Amazon went up quite a bit. After that, it doubled. It tried to test the high, but it wasn't until another correction comes in 2008 that was external shock for the stock, and then it really took off. So I personally don't think Bitcoin is going to follow this move again, because the market cap for Bitcoin it's already huge, and unless the Federal Reserve start to print even more U.S. dollars, right? Unless they really try to devalue U.S. dollar, and in the next 10 years, the Bitcoin could reach like 2 trillion, 3 trillion market cap. It's certainly possible if the U.S. dollar becomes really worthless. But right now, I wouldn't go get too ahead of myself and expect this kind of stuff in. But I do expect we have this, right? Making twice your money on Bitcoin, like get double your money with very little risk if it consolidates, wouldn't be a bad thing, right? Plus, these days you have the Bitcoin futures, you have leverage products, so you could have a little bit leverage. Although I definitely do not recommend adding leverage to any of your positions. Do not do leverage on cryptocurrency. However, some people would do it if you see this opportunity, someone is really good at managing the risk and all that stuff. So they could do a leverage and making 5 times their money just on this one particular move. That's certainly likely. So if you actually bought at the 4,000 level, then by the time you get to 20,000, you already made 5 times your money, right? That's where the price target is. So you don't even need leverage to make 5 times in the next 2-3 months. So yeah, that's all I want to say. And thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and see you next time.